It's the best day of the year, folks. Yeah, it's September 10th, and we're here to celebrate Troy Terry Day. That's right, it's Troy Terry's birthday, so we're going to talk a lot about him on today's Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jason JD Hernandez, covering hockey for over a decade, and I want to thank you for making this your first listen of the day. Don't forget, this podcast is free and available across all platforms, including Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and hey, you can check me out on Twitter at StimpyJD. All right. Let's get things started. First off, it's a Saturday, and yes, I did this exactly by design to not have a Friday episode, but instead have a Saturday episode. And the reason for that is because it is the favorite day, at least for me, one of my favorite days of the whole year, every year, September 10th. And the reason for that is because it's a special birthday. Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Yeah, it's my birthday too. But it's Troy Terry's birthday. Come on, folks. Troy Terry, yeah, I know. He's your favorite player? Yeah, he's... Okay. Zegras. I love Zegras. Love McTavish. Like, I pump the tires of McTavish every day. But my actual favorite player on the Ducks is Troy Nathan Terry, who was born on this day 25 years ago. So, happy birthday to Troy Terry. At least for me, the star player of the Anaheim Ducks, and finally making his first All-Star game last season. So let's talk about just last season first. He broke out in a big way, scored 37 goals with the Ducks, led the team in points. 67 points for the Ducks in 75 games. Led the team in several categories, and I just mentioned some of those right there. Shooting percentage was way up, and I talked about this a lot last season, so I'm going to talk about it again right now. His shooting percentage went up to a whopping 19.3% because he actually was more aggressive and finally decided, I'm going to shoot the puck more, and I'm going to try to pick my spots. And he did. I mean, I did say before last season that he was going to be the breakout star, and he was. I expected him to get about 25 to 30 goals. Not 30. I didn't see 37 coming. But, yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. And I really expected 25, 30. But that was impressive to me. This season, I think he could get 40 goals this coming season if he plays all 82, or even if he plays 80 games this season. Last season he missed 7 games. He probably could have gotten 40 last season without those missed games. I think he could do it. I really think he can get 40 goals this season. Is that a bit of a bold prediction? Some might say, yeah. I mean, someone's saying, JD, 40 goals? Are you sure? I mean, losing Ryan Getzlaf on that line is going to suck. But, they're still a very potent offensive team, and they still have some young, talented guys on that roster. So I don't see any reason why Troy Terry couldn't get 40 goals, especially when you have playmakers like Zegras. You have guys like Henrique there. You have guys like McTavish there. Like, you never know how he's going to execute on that power play, and he is too. You never know how many overtime goals he's going to get. That's another thing that I liked about Terry's game. His speed was also getting way up there. He's going to get a lot of game winners too. He's going to get a lot of game winning goals, probably even double digits in that as well. So I really look forward to seeing what Troy Terry is going to do this coming season. Probably more than any other player. Yes, I'm going to say that. More than any other player I'm really anticipating seeing what Troy Terry is going to do the most, because I do feel like the sky is the limit for him. While I do have colleagues saying, oh, he's systematic and he's kind of just working with the system and working with the players, like, yeah, I get that. But I think it's more than that with Troy Terry. I think one thing that's helped him a lot, his confidence is way up this season compared to years past. I mean, even before this season, he had, what was it, 15 goals. In the previous four, well, really 3 seasons, because he had 2 games, his actual, like, first year, 2 games. But his first 3 seasons, he had only 15 goals. That was it. And the scoring rates were just not that high. This season, he's really come out like gangbusters and proven himself to be one of the most potent offensive players in the league. And he's always kind of been like that. He's always kind of been that underdog type of guy, which I will talk about later on this podcast. But in a way, I could see there being a slight chip on his shoulder even more, because even last season, he still had his doubters. When you're like, him? He's an all-star? Yeah, there were still some doubters out there. And you know what? I say screw the doubters. Screw them. I hope Troy Terry can continue to prove media, can prove other coaches, like, he can continue proving everyone else wrong and saying, you know what, watch this. Yeah. And that's another reason why I think Troy Terry is going to succeed, is he's kind of got that confidence going for him, and also a slight bit, like, not a huge amount, but a slight bit of a swagger to him. A slight bit of, yeah, you're going to doubt me? No, not so fast. And I could even see it last year during the All-Star festivities, especially in Vegas, where he just kind of quietly did his thing and said, yeah, I'm going to score here, going to score here too. And I could see him start to accumulate more accolades, maybe even get up there for more awards. And I could see him in many more All-Star games. So I'm excited. I'm just excited. And Troy Terry, if you happen to be watching this, I hope you celebrate accordingly. I hope you have a big cake today. Yeah, hope you make it a good one. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about Troy Terry after the first intermission. But first, let's talk about Bet Online, which is the one place that has you covered and the one place that we trust. And folks, the NHL season is coming, and so is the NBA season. MLB is drawn to a close. The NFL season just began. So if you want to check out the latest props, odds, and lines, then head over to Bet Online right now using either your laptop or your mobile device to check out all the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. Bet Online is the official online sportsbook of the Locked On Podcast Network, and please gamble responsibly. Oh yeah. Quack, quack, baby. Welcome back to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You're locked in with Jason JD Hernandez. And guess what? It is September 10th, the best day of the year. I got something on my jersey here. But yeah, September 10th, baby. The day that we've all been waiting for, the day that I personally have been waiting for. It is the birthday of Troy Terry. Yeah, that's right. Troy Terry's birthday. So I talked a little bit about Terry on the last segment, and we'll continue because, hey, why not? It's a bonus episode. It's my show. I can talk about whatever I want, right? And gotta talk about my favorite player. One thing I love about Troy Terry, as I do with most of the Ducks, is he's a dog dad, as I was. But yeah, Troy Terry has a nice little black and white dog named Sullivan, which is a great name for a dog, by the way. So Troy Terry has had Sullivan for, I think, 3 years now. I think it's 2 to 3 years. But he's had Sully for a while. And you can see Sullivan once in a while on his social media. And it's really cute because I can recall, I think this was maybe a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, when Troy Terry signed a contract and Sully was right there. And then you could see when he proposed to his fiancée wife, Danny, that Sullivan was right there. It looked like Sullivan was more excited about Troy Terry proposing than Troy actually was. It was really adorable. And I am a total softie when it comes to dogs, when it comes to pets. And I'm like, oh, Troy, you're just awesome, buddy. So, yeah. So Sullivan, maybe Sully's birthday too. Who knows? But being a dog dad, really cool. I could tell he's a cool guy just because of that. So a little bit more about Troy Terry's just kind of past and history. He grew up in Colorado. He's a Colorado kid through and through, born in Denver. He actually played for Joe Sakic back in like 2004, 2005. And, he was part of that little youth team. And I think it was Joe Sakic's son that was also part of that team. And Joe was coaching that team as well. And this was during the lockout when no hockey was going on. So Joe says, hey, there's some potential in this kid. Yeah, he's only 8 years old, but hey, there's some potential there. And, that's like when you're playing mites hockey. You go from mites and like 10U, 12U, et cetera, et cetera. Then you start to move up to like Bantam. Then you go into midget squirt. Like you start moving up the ranks. Finally, when you get to like that Bantam level, that's when you begin to set yourself apart from the rest. And for those of you that are familiar with youth hockey, that, mites hockey, I mean, some of the kids are still learning to skate, but they're out there having fun. And there's always one or two kids in mites that you can think, hey, he's pretty good. It's when you get to Bantam, like I said, that's when you have to set yourself apart from the rest. And if you can thrive in that about 14-year-old range, that's when you could say, hey, you know what? Maybe there's something there. And that's what Troy Terry did. He played for the Thunderbirds, played for Denver. And among his mentors was his old coach, Joe Sakic. And by the way, that's why he wears number 19. Yeah, Joe Sakic wore number 19 for the Colorado Avs. And that's why Troy Terry wore number 19 for the University of Denver. And that's why he wears number 19 now. Well, he couldn't be number 61 forever. He just couldn't. We first saw number 19, not in Anaheim, though. When did we first see number 19? Well, we saw number 20 when he played for Team USA. In fact, going back even to like 2014, 15, 16, 17, when he was on Team USA. I remember that epic 3-round shootout where Troy Terry scored multiple shootout goals, i.e. TJ Oshie. So he did his best impression of that. And hey, what do you know? Troy Terry wins gold for the World Juniors, both the under 18 and the under 20 tournament. So he's actually got two World Juniors golds. One for the World Juniors U18 and one for the big World Junior Championships for Team USA. So that's where he won gold for USA. Yeah! And by the way, Troy Terry also wore the red, white, and blue once again as an Olympian back in 2018. Yeah. So he's got some international accolades on him, and he scored pretty well in each of those tournaments, especially that World Juniors in 2017. Man, I don't want to say he dominated, but he definitely made himself known in that tournament. That was a lot of fun to watch. And then, of course, went to the Ducks, had his debut, played a couple of games, but, made his debut with the Ducks, number 61. We first saw number 19 professionally with the San Diego Gulls. That was a fun season to cover back in 2019. I think that was actually my first almost full season getting to go down there. And I could see the potential in Troy Terry. He was just a thorn on the side of other teams. What team was he definitely a thorn for? Well, it actually wasn't Ontario that he was a thorn on the side for. He actually was a thorn on the side for most of the rest of the California teams. I mean, he did okay against Ontario, but he did well against Stockton and Bakersfield. And, there were a couple of games there where you could really see the potential in Troy Terry just starting to go like point per game. And, you could see the passing ability there as well. Those were some good teams that the Gulls had. I mean, you want to talk about a good teammate. How about current Anaheim Duck, Max Jones? Yeah, Max Jones and Troy Terry, they were teammates with San Diego. So first, Troy Terry kind of switched numbers. He went 19 and 13 with the San Diego Gulls. Number 13 for the San Diego Gulls. Where have I seen that before? Oh, that's right. Yeah. I mean, there is the obvious connection between Troy Terry and Trevor Zegras, the last two players to wear number 13 for San Diego. So that little cool connection there. But Troy Terry, he scored 57 points in 55 games for the San Diego Gulls. And I think one of his best games, the team that he really loved playing was Bakersfield and Tucson. He liked beating the crap out of the Tucson Roadrunners. And that was fun to watch. Especially that game against Tucson right before, the pandemic really hit. And Robin Leanio can definitely remember this. So I don't know if you guys remember right before the pandemic really hit, where Troy Terry had some time in Anaheim, kind of struggled a bit, also was not 100% health-wise. So Troy Terry went back down to San Diego, and that's when I saw a few of those games of Troy Terry. I saw him against Tucson, and I also went up to that game against Bakersfield. That's why I recall that, because it was that game against Bakersfield where he had a 3-point night, and he just torched him that night. But the final game of the season was against the Tucson Roadrunners at Tucson, and he had a 4-point night. And then the day after that, that's when everything stopped. And I still remember actually talking about that game because I was at Honda Center and kind of like looking back at my phone going, oh, Gulls are playing. Hey, Troy Terry. Oh, Troy Terry again. And I'm going again and again and again. And I even said to myself, wow, he'll be back on the Ducks sooner rather than later. And how right I was on that. But yeah, those were some fun games to watch. And I really enjoyed watching him up close in San Diego, just to be able to be privileged to watch and cover those games in person. That was something I'll never forget. So yeah, just some fond memories of Troy Terry that I wanted to kind of talk about. A little bit more about his past that I haven't gotten to talk much about on this podcast. And I tried to do that when I first started this back 3 years ago, talking about the up-and-comers, and he was one of them. So really good to see him flourishing now in Anaheim, and I really do hope that he continues this dominance with the puck. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about September 10th. Yeah, we'll get to that on the other side. Yeah, it's September 10th. Woo! Welcome back to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. And it's September 10th, y'all. Yeah, special day. And, just a quick plug. This is also brought to you by Built Bar. That's right. And hey, did you know that if you join the Built.com birthday club, they give you 100 free Built points, which you can redeem for a $5 gift card. So in addition to getting 15% off by using the promo code LOCKED15, you can also get $5 off in addition to that. So that's even more savings on Built Bars. Woohoo! Yeah. White chocolate cookies and cream. That is a fantastic flavor. I mean, my favorite is still Churro Puff, but hey, I get some free Built Bars. Woohoo! Yeah! Happy birthday, baby. All right. So, yeah, September 10th, yeah, it is my birthday. But there's two important birthdays on September 10th. Of course, Troy Terry, and of course, Olin Zellweger. Yeah, that's right. That's the other important birthday today. So you get a double dip. It is also Olen Zellweger's birthday. The Ducks prospect turns 19 years old today. Olen Zellweger had a pretty stellar season out in juniors, and we will see Olin Zellweger, by the way, next week at the rookie camp. So in case you missed it, the open practice for the rookie camp will be this coming Thursday at Great Park Ice in Irvine. That'll be Thursday morning. So come check it out. Come check out the future of the Ducks. And if you want to make the drive to San Jose, hey, there's the rookie face-off up there at the new arena. So do check that out as well. But as I mentioned, Olin Zellweger just turning 19 years old. The young prospect was an early second round pick, but hey, he's kind of proving that he might be a steal in that second round, because last season he was one of the best defensemen in all of the WHL. He had a whopping 78 points in 55 games with the Everett Silvertips, and had a decent showing in the playoffs last season, 9 points in 6 games, and even had a game with the San Diego Gulls and got a point. Yes, it was a last-minute goal. Yes, it was one of those goals. It was under a minute. The Gulls were down by 2, but I don't care. He celebrated. Yeah, good for him. Next season, he is expected to go back to juniors with Everett, and I believe this would be his final season in juniors. And if he doesn't make the Ducks out of camp, which I don't know if he will, honestly, because the Ducks did just sign a couple defensemen, I don't know if he's going to make the team right now. I expect him to go back to juniors, but I also expect him to dominate juniors this season. I'm expecting just complete annihilation of the opposition. In fact, I could see Olen Zellweger maybe getting 80, 90 points as a defenseman. A defenseman in the WHL. That could be fun to watch. And if he continues this current course of development, he could turn into one of the premier defensemen for the Ducks. I mean, can you imagine a blue line with Jamie Drysdale and Olen Zellweger, two outstanding skaters? I mean, that's speed on the blue line. Put them on the second line. Honestly, this is a kind of a dream scenario. Put your two speedsters on the second line defense, and they could poke pucks away left and right, and the pressure won't be on them to go against the top lines, but they could be shut down against those middle six lines. So, hey, happy birthday once again to Troy Terry, but Olen Zellweger. I cannot wait to have at least a couple more of these podcasts annually where I can say happy birthday to Troy Terry and happy birthday to all. Hey, it's a double dip. It's a double dip of birthdays for the Anaheim Ducks. So we should all celebrate this. In fact, we should make this like a holiday or something, right? Yeah, it's officially Ducks birthday day, because I can't think of any two Ducks that share a birthday. I can't. Actually, let me look really quick at the Ducks roster, and while I'm doing that, I'll remind you that this podcast is free and available across all platforms, including Stitcher, Spotify, Odyssey, etc., and all that jazz. All right, so looking at the roster really quickly, it appears that no other Ducks right now even share a birthday, not even with prospects. So, yeah. No, I take that. Well, no. It looks like the birth dates are, close, but no cigar. So, it's kind of neat, right? Couple of birthdays. Oh, also another September birthday, another fellow Virgo, Simon Benoit, September 19th. So, hey, fellow Virgo, what up? Yeah, so little known fact. Oh, no. I just found one. May 5th. Oh, of course, Cinco de Mayo. Josh Mahura and Oli Huolevi. All right. In fact, they both have the exact same birth date, May 5th, 1998. So I guess that's the other birthday twin. Nope, found another one. One more. So here's your little fun fact. There are 3 birthday pairings for the Ducks. Today, Troy Terry and Olin Zellweger. Cinco de Mayo, Josh Mahura, Oli Uolevi. And how about this one? Here's kind of a weird one. November 6th, Isaac Lundestrom and Nathan Gaucher. Both born on November 6th. So there's kind of your weird did you know. So once we get around to November 6th, I'll be sure to have another double birthday for both Isaac Lundestrom. Oh, wait, no. I can't do that this year. Bit of personal news that I've shared on here, but yeah, November 6th, I'll be busy that day. I won't be able to do a double birthday because November 6th of this year, I'll be running the New York Marathon on November 6th. So what better way to celebrate a dual birthday than to run the New York Marathon? So I'm sure at some point during the Marathon route, I'll probably yell, "Happy birthday, Nathan Gaucher! Happy birthday, Isaac Lundstrom!" It'd be fun just to do that. Just, have like a little like recording along the course I'm running. Maybe post it on the Locked On Ducks Twitter and be like, "Happy birthday, Nathan Gaucher and Isaac Lundstrom from the New York Marathon." Yeah, I would do that. I actually would. So, yeah, fun facts. Fun birthday facts. And how I'll be celebrating my birthday this year, I have no plans. I mean, it's going to be raining. We have this remnant of a hurricane. Hurricane K / Tropical Storm K / Post-Tropical Cyclone K, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so for those of you in the burn areas, be careful out there. And also, be careful of flooding. I know it's right now quite windy where I'm at right now, and we've had some downpours, so just be careful. Yeah, kind of a weird day to have a birthday if you're Troy Terry down here in SoCal and going, what is this rain? What's this wind? Oh, it's a hurricane? Yeah. So, yeah, no plans for my birthday, but if you want to send me a birthday greeting, I'd really appreciate it. So, yeah, send me a birthday greeting on either the LO_Ducks Twitter, or send me a birthday greeting on my personal Twitter at StimpyJD. All right, yeah, good show. That was fun. All right. Yeah, birthday! Woohoo! After a while, you kind of go like, okay, it's another birthday. I'm older. I won't say how old, but yeah, no, I'm still young. But really, I want to thank you guys for celebrating this birthday with me and kind of indulging me on this special day, September 10th. And hey, thank you all so much for listening. Don't forget that you can follow me on Twitter at StimpyJD. Send me a birthday greeting. The show's Twitter is once again at LO_Ducks. Thanks for making this your first listen of the day. Go ahead and make Locked On NHL your second listen of the day. And we're going to have some fun next week. Try to get a couple of guests on next week and have a little bit of fun. I think next week I'm going to try to get Trey. Yeah, him and I talk a lot of crap. He's the host of Locked On Devils. We talk crap. It's kind of all in good fun. But that'll be a nice little crossover between me and Trey. We've been talking about doing that for a while, so that'll be a thing. All right. Once again, thank you all for your continued support, and thank you for your birthday wishes. It is so greatly appreciated. If you're watching on Twitter, hey, maybe drop me a birthday wish down below. I love it. For Locked On Anaheim Ducks, I'm Jason JD Hernandez, saying have a great rest of the September 10th. Once again, happy birthday to Troy Terry and Olin Zellweger. Please be careful out there. Please be kind to one another. And Ducks fly together.